Okay, this video is on replacing the power door lock actuator on the sliding rear door. It's a 2005 Dodge Grand Caravan. Mine seized up to the point where I can't even unlock this door to open it. So first thing I'm going to need to do is pop this trim piece off from the frame. Remove this Phillips head screw hidden down in the remote control and lift the pocket out of the panel. Unscrew and remove your lock button. You will find it easier to work your way around if you use a tool to get between the rivet and its socket there, so you get between the green part and the white part and pop it loose. Then you're going to work your way around all these clips, and it is helpful if you have a tool like this to get down between the green and the white and pop them loose one at a time. Otherwise you can just give them a sharp tug and typically they will let go. And be warned, there's a lot of black adhesive material around the window, etc. So dress appropriately. 10mm ratchet to remove the 3 bolts that hold this rubber striker bumper in place, and after that's removed, then remove this sheet, and we'll be putting this back on with some double-sided window tape. And there's no need to remove these 2 bolts. After you get them loosened, you will be able to slide this out of the way. Your power door lock actuator is located behind this styrofoam block right there. You will disconnect this rod here. Hard to do it with one hand. You will unplug the power connector to your door lock control. Then you will want to stuff a cloth into this gap here and use a T15 Torx screwdriver bit to undo this screw and try to catch it, but if you drop it, hopefully you'll catch it with the cloth. After that, lift your rod up a little bit, and then you'll be able to slide this out of the bracket that holds it, like that, and out from behind the cables, and your actuator is now removed. Okay, so this is the one that I just removed. This one I had actually replaced, I guess it was about 3 years ago. And so after 3 years of heavy use, this one finally failed. This was the original one that I removed. This is the factory one. So when you buy these, they come with 2 different arms so that you could use it on either the left side of the vehicle or the right side of the vehicle. The OEM actuators are specific to the side, so this is strictly the driver's side or left side of the vehicle, and they color code them sometimes. The aftermarket ones, this one was color coded and the other arm was a different color. I think it was blue. But just goes to show the OEM ones will, I guess, last longer, because this is the only one that I replaced on the vehicle, and this same one failed again. But I will likely just buy another regular aftermarket because the cost is so much lower. Okay, so I got my new universal door actuator in replacement, identical to the old one that failed. Once again, like I had mentioned before, I had replaced this once already, so this is not an OEM actuator. And they come with 2 different arms depending on what you need. So as you see, this arm is opposite. This is for the other side, so all I have to do is undo that screw, put the new arm on. There's little And if you can see it there, little arrows that you line up, unscrew, line up the arrows, screw it back on. Though it's keyed, it can only fit really one way. Okay, now first step before you go installing this back into the van, you want to reattach your linkage arm, and then we're going to be putting into place, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, now here's where things will get a little more tricky compared to taking it off. If you feel right back here, there's a little lever that will swing up and down. That is your lock latch. And what you want to do is slide this into position, feel back here, get that pin into this notch, and then you have to push against towards yourself so that you hook that on the sheet metal clip that's back here, and this hook back here is back there, and then down the bottom the screw hole has to line up right back there. So once you get into place, feel back there, make sure that pin is still in that gap. Unfortunately, I can't show you that while holding the camera at the same time, but I think you get the idea of it. Okay, it's secured in place with the screw. Once again, I recommend that you put a catch cloth there, and in this case I have the door slightly open, so I put a catch cloth down there just in case I drop that screw while putting it in. Also, this plastic is not threaded. The screw is kind of a self-tapping. If you want to make life a little easier, I didn't do it, but it made it a little harder to do, is run that screw through there before you go assembling, and that way you'll pre-thread it. And now you want to reach back there, just double check that your pin is still in the arm, that things move back and forth freely, and then we'll reattach our linkage over here. So get it on camera, why not? And now I'm going to test that. Well, first I'm going to reattach my power, and now I'm going to test it. Alright, now I'm going to test it. Now just remember that when the passenger or driver's side door is open, the power door locks will not allow you to lock. So don't let that drive you crazy thinking that your actuator's not functioning properly. Just make sure the doors are closed. I'm just going to reach through the window. Now to put our vapor barrier back in place, I use Weather King or Frost King double-sided tape. It's for putting up I guess the clear plastic vapor barrier around windows, but it's super sticky and it puts up with temperature very, very well. Don't forget to put your styrofoam support block back into place. Reinstall your rubber striker. Now I find it easier to put the lock button back on before lifting up and over, because that little extra length tends to help a little bit. Then after that, you're just going to line the pins up with each of its respective socket and snap this panel all back. Okay, give all your pins a good solid whack, and then pull all around the circumference. Make sure that everything's locked into place. Then put your remote holder back into place and secure it with its Phillips head screw. Then you will put your final piece of trim back in place. There's a guide pin there and a guide pin there. You'll fit them up through their respective holes and then snap all your pins into place. Okay, all panels are reassembled and back into place. Last step is to double check our work. everything's working fine. And that is it. Oh, and clean all the panels in case you got any butyl rubber or smudges, etc. on the panels. Get that all cleaned up. So, well, if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and above all, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.